Hi Jill, we're going to look at your lateral view or your side view of your running gait now. And what I'm going to do is fast forward this a little bit. So as you can see, your upper body seems to be really well aligned. It's erect, your head is facing straight, your elbows are at a little bit of a 90 degrees or more, which is good form. What I'm also seeing here is that your arms are crossing midline a little bit, and I couldn't see that on the front view, but it looks like your arms are crossing midline a little bit. And you don't want to do that. You want to try and keep your hands to the side. You want to try and keep it from moving towards midline, because that causes your torso to rotate a little bit more than necessary, and that you might lose some efficiency that way. Now, if I'm looking at your running gait in the lower extremities, what I'm seeing here is that you've got pretty good anterior pelvic tilt, which is good to help encourage rear foot extension and the propulsion aspect of your running gait. Now, your back is curved nicely here. You've got a pretty good anterior pelvic tilt. If I can measure that real quickly, I'm hoping to get anywhere between 15 to 20 degrees. So let's have a quick look here. Might be so bear with me here a little bit. I'm going to try and get that hand size. There you go. Okay, I'm going to measure that angle. So you got about 24 degrees. So that shows anywhere between 15 to 20 degrees would be great, but you're seeing a little bit more, but 24 degrees. But I think that's a pretty good angle for your pelvis, and that just shows that you've got pretty good stability with your pelvis right now in this view. What I want to really point out, though, is the way your heel is striking in relation to your hip and pelvis. Now, if you look at your heel strike on your right leg, now if it looks like you're hitting the treadmill with your heel instead of your forefoot. Now let's try that in the next frame. Your left foot, of course, is hitting the treadmill more than your midfoot should. Now, the reason why that's not a good thing is because you're getting too much dorsiflexion, or your toes are coming up too high here. You don't want that to happen, because that can put extreme strain on your muscles at the front part of your leg or your tibialis anterior, which can lead to shin splints. Now, if you look at your right leg, again, you're hitting with your heel more than your midfoot here, and what happens when you do that is that you don't get as much extension or propulsion from your leg when you go into extension of your hip. So right now we're at the extension part of your hip, and your knee is about to come up, but your knee does not come up as high as it should. It should come up a little bit higher. So the only way you can get that heel to come up a little bit higher is if you land on your forefoot or midfoot of your foot here. And if you do that, you'll get a little bit more flexion in that knee, and you'll be able to bring that heel up a little bit higher to give you that extra propulsion. It's also very efficient sort of running, and you're not wasting a lot of energy. And it also protects your joints, especially with the hamstrings, and your calf muscles. And you want to try and make sure, in addition to all of that, that your heel actually lands pretty much in line with your hip. Right now your hips are out here, and your heel is landing far too in front of that hip. So you want it to land somewhere around here, okay? So a little bit in front of your hip joint. That'll make your running much more efficient than it is right now. So pay attention to some of these things, and you will find that you will have no injuries.